Hello, welcome back. It's Saturday. My computer have not crashed tonight. I'd like to read about this MIG-21 variants and MIG-21 operators, but that's not important at all. But I have many hundreds PDF with aircraft I like to read. So I just have, if I feel like I like to read it, I should just do it, because if I not do it, I will never do it. I will never make this video, because I have many hundred others aircraft, very fine aircraft. I need to read about this F-15 and 35 and this camcorder takes 24 hours to charging. But if I not just do it, I will never read about it. So, but that's not super important, because the MiG-21 is not a very good aircraft. The MiG-21 fighter jet have a very short range, like less 700 kilometers. It have a super short range. But I did forget I should go do this with a MiG-25. MiG-25 is much better than MiG-31. But I forgot to look about this PDF. Some aircraft, they have a PDF called list of variants and list of operators. Some file, but not everything. But this one have this made in like 12,000. The MiG-21 is made in 11,000. Yes, I have to fix. I need a little time, because I'm very thirsty. I need a little time to do coffee cooking now. I'm trying to get something to drink. No, the MiG-21 is made, I think that was 11,500. So it's a big, it's one of the fighter jets in the world have made in most copies. I don't know how you say that in English. There's not many fighter jets made more than 15,000. I think the MiG-15. So this is not important at all, because I have so many other good aircraft, like F-15. I have a long list, 20 more, but now let's just do it, because if I not do it, I will never read this. So, and I was thinking, after I did read this MiG-21, I think, okay, now I read this, and I have this list of operators. So, but now I need to read this today. And the other one, I have to try to read both. Read the variants and the operators. It's not important, because the MiG-21 is not the one of the best. The MiG-25 and 23 is much better, and 31. This have like super short range, like 700 kilometers. It have a very low range.
List of Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-21 variants. MiG-21. This is a list of variants and specifications for variants of the Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG. List of Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-21 variants. MiG-21. This is a list of variants and specifications for variants of the Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-21, which differed considerably between models. Variants. All information in this section adapted from MiG-21, 2008. 1. Development and pre-production generation 0, 1954-1956. U-1, 1954. Preliminary swept wing design around the Mikoyan-Gurevich 5, a non-reheated turbojet. Instead of building it, the design was quickly reworked into the U-2. 1954, NATO, faceplate, swept wing prototype with Mikoyan-Gurevich 9B reheated turbojet, armed with 3 NR-30 cannon, and could carry 1 UB-16-57 rocket pod. Fitted with RSIU-4 VHF radio, UZL-IF interrogator, ARC-5 Amur automatic direction finder with RUP landing approach computer MRP-48 PD8L marker beacon receiver, SRO2 Chrome IFF transponder, Sirena 2 RWR SRD1M radar rangefinder linked to an ASP-5N computing gun sight. U-2 made its maiden flight on the 14th of February, 1955, but program was abandoned when Mikoyan Road 11 turbojet became available. U-2, 1955, aka MiG-23, U-2 design modified for Road 11 turbojet. 6 built. Identical to U-5 except for wings, U-2 are hard-swept wings. Fitted with RSIU-4V radio, ARC-5 ADF with RUP module, MRP-48P marker beacon receiver, Barry MIFF transponder, Sirena 2 RWR, SRD1M radar rangefinder with ASP-5N V3 computing gunsight. MiG-23, 1957, ISDEL U-63, U-2 was assigned the production designation MiG-23. It was to be much like HEV prototype, but with SRD-5M Beza 6 radar rangefinder and an SRO2 Chrome IFF transponder, amongst other changes. Of 12 units planned for 1957, only 5 were built. These were powered by R11-300 turbojets, production version of Road 11, and had one centerline hardpoint to carry a 400-liter drop tank, a UB-16-57 rocket pod or a FAP-250 bomb. All work on these aircraft was ordered to be terminated in 1958, and the units built were reused for various special test programs. U-4, 1955, the first Delta Wing prototype of the MiG-21. Proof of concept test, used an existing production engine in a U-5 airframe. U-50, 1956, swept wing, experimental high-altitude interceptor. U-2 airframe modified to fit Duskin S-155 rocket motor. Design work started in 1954, first flight in 1956. Program terminated after crash of U-50/3 on the 8th of August 1957. 2. U-50, 1956. Not to be confused with MiG-23 Flogger. The U-50 was a refinement of the U-50, WASO enter production and service with the designation MiG-23U, but this didn't happen due to unavailability of the intended R-11E-300 turbojet. MiG-23U, 1956, ISDEL U-64, U equals Ascorital. Booster. This was to be production version of U-50. Only one was completed due to continuing unavailability of the R-11E-300 power plant. U-5, 1956, Delta Wing research prototype powered by Mikoyan-Gurevich 11 turbojet. Some changes besides engine were made from the U-4, including addition of a second hydraulic system. The initial designation was I-500. MiG-21, 1956, ISDEL U-65, NATO Fishbed A, the first series of fighters, production version of U-5. 5 units built at Tbilisi. but not continued due to efforts having been redirected towards the more advanced U-6 MiG-21F. The aircraft that were built found work as testbeds. Initial mass production Generation 1, 1957, 1961. U-6, 1957. 3 pre-production versions of MiG-21F. U-50P, 1958. Rocket-boosted high-altitude interceptor project, terminated before construction. MiG-21F, 1959, Isdel U-72, NATO Fishbed B, MiG-21F in Spratowa, Poland, as a Monument F equals for Sirovanie, uprated, single-seat day fighter aircraft. It was the first production aircraft, with 93 machines being made, 20 inches 1959, 73 in 1960. The MiG-21F carried 2,160 liters of fuel in 6 internal fuel tanks and was powered by an R-11F300 turbojet engine with 5,740 kgf of thrust. The earliest units were fitted with one NR-30 and two NR-23 cannon. Subsequent aircraft were armed with two 30mm NR-30 cannons, 60 shells each. It was also capable of carrying 2 bombs ranging from 50 to 500 kilograms each. Avionics included PAS-36D weapon sequencing module, R-800 communications radio, ASP-5NVU-1 computing gun sight, and SRD-5MN Baser 6 radar rangefinder. U-6/9, 1960, a production MiG-21F was modified in 1960 to test nuclear strike capability on the MiG-21 airframe. U-6T, 1958. Prototypes based on MiG-21F used for testing the Vimpel K-13, NATO, AA-2 Atoll, missile system. The aircraft were later reused for other tests. U-6T/1, U-66, 1959. MiG-21 F-13 at the Barksdale Global Power Museum. U-6T/1 prototype, number 31 red, was refitted with R-11 F2-300 engine to break the world speed record. U-66 was a fake designation used on the documents submitted to the FAI. It was not her official designation. Konstantin Kokinaki set a new world speed record on September 16, 1960 in this aircraft, reaching a top speed of 2,499 km/h, 1,552 miles per hour, on a 100 km closed course. FAI says the 100-kilometer record set on that date by Vladimir Kokinaki was 2,148.66 kilometers per hour. It says an E-66 averaged 2,388 kilometers per hour for 100 kilometers on 31 October 1959. U-6T/1, U-66 of 1961. After setting a new world speed record, U-6T/131 red was rebuilt again Tartary to set a new world altitude record. To this end it had a U-21 rocket boosted to a fairing in the tail, and kept the upgraded R-11 F2-300 turbojet. U-66 was a fake designation used on the documents submitted to the FAI. It was not the official designation. On the 28th of April, 1961, Georgy Mozolov set the new altitude record at 34,714 m, 113,891 feet, breaking the previous record set by an American pilot in an F-104 Starfighter by 2,899 m, 9,511 feet. U-6T/2, 1961, second prototype U-6T reused to test skid-type landing gear for use on dirt strips. U-6T/3, 1961, U-6T with canards fitted. Tested 1961-1962. MiG-21 P-13, aka U-7, 1958. P equals Perikvachik, Interceptor. 13 equals refers to K-13 missile system. 2 MiG-21 Song suffix, ISDEL-U-65, were converted to use K-13 missile system as part of a development project for an interceptor armed with the K-13 missile. Due to the MiG-21 P-13 project lagging behind schedule, it was decided to produce the existing MiG-21F with the capability to use the K-13 missile system, resulting in the MiG-21F-13. The development continued, however, eventually resulting in the MiG-21 PF. MiG-21 F-13, 1960, ISDEL-U-74, NATO Fishbed C, F equals for Sirovany, uprated. 13 equals refers to K-13 missile systems Short Range Day Fighter. The MiG-21 F-13 was the first MiG-21 model to be produced in large numbers. Unlike the MiG-21F, the MiG-21 F-13 had only one NR-30 cannon on the starboard side, with only 60 rounds. However, it added the capability to use its K-13 missile system, of which 2 could be carried on underwing hardpoints. One early production MiG-21 F-13s, the launch rails were of the APU-28 type. Later models had these replaced by APU-13 rails. The launch rails were removable, allowing the MiG-21 F-13 to carry 2 UB-16-57 unguided rocket launchers, 2 S-24 rockets on PU-12-40 launch rails or 2 FAP-100 /250 /500 bombs or ZB-360 napalm tanks. The F-13 had further upgrades, an improved USP-5ND optical gunsight and an upgraded SRD-5ND ranging radar. The MiG-21 F-13 was also built under license in China as Chengdu J7 or F7 for export, as well as in Czechoslovakia as the Aero S-106. MiG-21 F-13. Though the S-106 designation was not used for long, subsequently, the Czech-built units were referred to as MiG-21 F-13 just like F-Soviet-built aircraft. MiG-21F are Czechoslovak designation for MiG-21 F-13 and Aero S.106, Czech-built MiG-21 F-13. Converted to carry reconnaissance pods. MiG-21 F-13 are, 1974, R equals Razors Navatelin, reconnaissance. Bulgarian designation for MiG-21 F-13 aircraft locally modified to carry an AFA-39 camera. U-6V, 1961, NATO Fishbed E, experimental still version of MiG-21 F-13. With JATO boosters. Interceptors Generation 2, 1961, 1966. MiG-21 PF, 1961, ISDEL-U-76, NATO Fishbed D, P equals Perikvachik, Interceptor, F equals for Sirovany, uprated, production version of the all-weather interceptor. These were powered by the R-11 F2-300 turbojet and, starting with the 7th production batch, fitted with the RP-21 radar. The first 6 batches used the older TSD-30T radar, aka RP-9-21. Further, the weapons control system was modified from that of the F-13 to allow use of the RS-2US, aka K-5MS. B riding AAM in addition to the IRC King K-13. MiG-21 PF, 1961, ISDEL-U-76 version for export to Warsaw Pact countries. Only difference from domestic version was the IFF equipment. MiG-21 PFL, 1966. ISDEL-U-76 L equals locator, radar, version of MiG-21 PF tailored to a Vietnamese requirement. The L designation may be short for locator to reflect the different sensor suite in this version as compared to the standard PF.MiG-21 PFM, ISW76O, M equals modified, not to be confused with the real MiG-21 PFM, which is ISW94.
Yes, I had to